2009. And Ray Kurzweil talks about this all the time. In fact, I had the privilege to receive the manuscript of his latest book that comes out in June, The Singularity is Nearer. And in that book, he explains very well what will happen in the next few years, and he keeps his two magic dates of 2029 for passing the Alan Turing test and reaching longevity escape velocity, and the year 2045 for the technological singularity and immortality, which is the other point that I like, immortality. In fact, Ray Kurzweil writes in my book that just came out in English, I'm very proud, The Death of Death. Not only Ray Kurzweil recommends this book, Michio Kaku, that many of you probably recognize, who is also an immortalist, and George Church, who is a candidate to the Nobel Prize in Medicine. So I'm really proud, and my fantastic co-author who is here from London, David Good, he will be also speaking tomorrow, David. So we are talking here about the death of death. And for this, we need artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is a fantastic tool, as we have seen with DeepMind, AlphaFold. AlphaFold could fold proteins that we could never do as humans, because we have very limited capabilities. So that is my background, Singularity University, MIT, Marvin Minsky. The things that worry me, and that Janet said so well, because Janet, now I live in Europe, you know, I live in Spain, and I'll tell you something horrible. This morning, checking the news in Spain, the Vice President of Spain said today that artificial intelligence will destroy 500,000 jobs in Spain. You know, this is horrible. The Vice President of the country said that today. And actually, she's a communist, a Stalinist, Leninist, the Vice President of Spain. And her government has destroyed already more than those jobs. And it's not creating any jobs. So my problem is not artificial intelligence. I think this is the greatest gift of science and technology, the greatest gift ever we can have as humans. So I am not worried about being more intelligent. I want to be more intelligent. I want to be with intelligent people. I want to be with artificial intelligence higher than me. What worries me is not artificial intelligence. It is human stupidity. Human stupidity. That is what worries me. And the Vice President of Spain is an example of human stupidity at the highest level. At the highest level. So I would like to have a robot president. I would like to have an artificial intelligence president. So that worries me, human stupidity. The other thing that worries me, because some of you know me for a long time ago and came to my conferences when I lived in Venezuela, which is a totalitarian communist dictatorship, horrible country now, is that the bad guys are betting on artificial intelligence. Vladimir Putin has openly said that whoever controls artificial intelligence will rule the world. And the Chinese also have said that, the Prime Minister of China. So I am worried about the bad guys. That is why I think the West, the free countries, should not stop. In fact, we should move forward before the Russians or the Chinese. So that is my concern, because I have lived under a communist totalitarian regime in Venezuela, and I don't want them to have access to this before the free countries do. So that is my second concern. Human stupidity and bad guys get into this first. So I don't want a moratorium. I want to accelerate this. And by the good guys, I want competition, I want open AI, I want Google DeepMind, I want all the other companies, even the Chinese, I would say, because Baidu is also trying to advance very quickly. And actually, one of my bosses, I have several bosses, Jerry Glenn, that will be speaking later, you know, because I'm also with the Millennium Project. We published this book about the year 2050, where we have 3 scenarios about the future, from the best to the worst. Of course, the scenarios take good and bad things, and in the good scenario, artificial intelligence is very good. In the bad scenario, artificial intelligence is very bad. Anyway, so right now we are doing a study that will be presented at the Summit of the Future, the first Summit of the Future in history in New York, September 22nd and 23rd. And so we are trying to give our little advice about possible alignment issues and governance issues related to artificial intelligence. And we have interviewed the top 50 experts in the world in artificial intelligence, including our very own Ben Goertzel here. So Ben Goertzel gave us his views, fantastic views. He doesn't care too much, like myself. You know, I think this is the greatest gift. So how something good will have bad consequences. It's like immortality. You know, when you talk about immortality, people say, oh, immortality will have bad consequences. And I say, this is health. This is longevity. This is living longer. So what is bad about living longer? If you think there is something bad, well, why don't you commit suicide? Because then you are part of the problem. You are not part of the solution. So the same with artificial intelligence. This is a great thing. It has helped us to solve the alpha folding, the protein folding problem, and so many other things. This is an incredibly positive technology. And Ben Goertzel said it also before. This is a technology that has incredible benefits, as opposed to nuclear warheads. You know, nuclear weapons are bad. But artificial intelligence is 1,000 times better than it could be worse. Of course, we have to be careful, but I think we are careful anyway. So I just want to say I'm very positive about artificial intelligence, like my mentors, Marvin Minsky and Ray Kurzweil.
Thank you very much. Very passionate. Thank you for sharing. Elizabeth, founder of 1,000 Black Voices. I'd like to please give us an introduction to yourself, your background, your domain of expertise. And then I'd love to hear your perspectives on the potential risks of AGI, the potential benefits of AGI, and what you see in the space of diversity, inclusion, access, on a slightly different level than Jose was talking about globally, but even within a country, access disparities.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here, and it's just amazing. I'm here actually also to learn from you, all of you, and so this is a really important part of my journey as well. And in saying that, just I'm always looking to learn. So I guess my background started as a scientist, so a positivist. Along that way, understanding a bit more about microbiology, biochemistry. Moved into really business, focusing very much around entrepreneurship. That's what my PhD is in, and emotions. And through that journey, really what keeps me awake at night is really having this focus on an ethical approach to how we engage with individuals. Fairness, access, that's really very important for me. For me as well, it's really important to have different perspectives, understand different perspectives. So in my engagements, from a functional perspective, understanding regulation, Janet talked about that earlier. I didn't put my hand up at the time, but legal and law, and I've done that as well. There's a number of different things. So I have run a business school, run the MBA, GBA, various different things, worked in reinsurance, and at present I am founder of 1,000 Black Voices, where we support Black founders to ensure they have access to social and financial capital, which is a key challenge. So in regards to what I see as some of the benefits, we're living in a time of exponential growth, and like I said, that part of that is learning for me. It's also important to understand, for me, again, it's about how we interact. We haven't been, as humans, haven't been great at, equity over the years. Things are improving, depends on different goal sets of, the time that we're in. So when we're talking about human values and what values that we want to hold dear, I question that. I question, are we able to decide in how we progress, moving forward with AI? I think, there's so many benefits to having AI there to support our decision making, to ensure that we are fair in our dealings with individuals and people, because we haven't been great at doing that. I did say that I studied emotion, and we have that responsibility in how we develop AI, but I don't believe that we should be putting ourselves upon AI in that sense. I think it's more of a co-joint development with AI, that AI has responsibilities as much as we do. If we're working from a social interactions perspective, for example, Bloomer, we, in an interaction, we respond to someone and they respond to us. There's that feedback, give and take in that particular interaction. And in that interaction, we also have emotions that we engage with. Now, I am learning about consciousness. It's not, I'm looking at consciousness from a social perspective. But if we are looking at AGI with consciousness, what emotions are they going to be displaying? It's going to be displaying. Where is that coming from? How is it going to identify itself? What's its self-interpretation of who or what it is in that particular time? So these are questions I do have, so I guess I'm asking you more questions around your development and engagement in access with AGI in regards to the emotional perspective. We as humans, we mask our emotions. I guess I had an interview yesterday with you. And I suppose in an interview I'm supposed to sit there and I'm presenting as an expert in something. But I was rather emotional. You wouldn't necessarily